What's good? What's good? What's good? Testing, testing. Alright, cool. I had to make sure we was good to go. Okay. And we're live. This is your boy Go Easy on the Twitch, aka Go Easy on the Kicks, aka E. You could call me whatever, just don't call me outside of my name. And yes, we're doing a tier list after I just seen the Batman. So we're about to do a tier list. I've been wanting to do a tier list for a minute. I wanted to do one with anime. We're going to get into this too. If you see this is One Piece. I'm going to say that for another day because it's crazy. But we're going to get into this. But this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody, this is going to be my tier list. Now, disclaimer, before I get started, and what's good, Nick? Before I get started, this is my particular tier list. So don't get offended. If you disagree, that's cool. If you do disagree, I actually want to hear people in the comment section because I'm looking forward to actually hearing people's opinion of what they feel are some top movies of all time. So let's go ahead and bring up the list too. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright. So it's a lot of movies in this list. And when I mean it's a lot, some of these movies I haven't seen. Some of these movies shouldn't even be mentioned in superhero movies. And some of them are left out. So you have some animated and then you have some live action. So what I want to get into first, let's go ahead and get into, we just randomly pick. Okay, hold on. Alright, here's mine actually. Because I had it a little bit more organized. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this for a while. After seeing The Batman this past weekend, I enjoyed it. I think it was a really solid movie. Before I go into it, I'm going to wait until I actually place it on a tier list or place it on a ranking, and then we'll kind of dive a little bit more into it. But, so we'll spend the first half, I guess, doing this, and then the second half, we're going to get into gaming, but I've been wanting to do this for a while. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to go into order whatever comes to my mind and what I can say about it. So right now, we're going to start with Aquaman. So, before I get started on that, I will say I always have like the least amount of thrill or excitement anytime a DC live action movie get like announced or placed, because I always feel like the live action DC movies do not hold its weight compared to the animated DC movies. And the animated DC movies will blow the animated Marvel movies out the chart, like out the sea, like out whatever you want to call it. Live action, animated DC movies. That's where they get their bread and butter. That's what they get their bread and butter. So let's go with Aquaman. So when I went into like the mindset of actually watching Aquaman, I was like, Aquaman was. I already don't like Aquaman as a character. I think they really try to go with the whole Thor route with this particular movie. They're trying to make Jason Momoa as much as Thor as possible. We're kind of giving him that little bit of swag. We kind of saw that little bit of swag in Justice League. Black Manta wasn't a bad villain, but he wasn't like the main villain. I honestly think the movie wasn't bad per se compared to some of the other movies, but because I'm gonna be brutal on some of these, but I don't think it was like the best DC movie. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it in the C. We'll put it in the C. My mind might change a little bit later, but we're gonna keep it in C for right now. All right, let's go for something a little bit more interesting. Let's go with Iron Man. How about that? We'll go with Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1. Let's talk about Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1 kicked off the whole Marvel Universe movie, cinematic, everything you want to say. It wasn't the first Marvel movie, but it was the first Marvel movie that basically kicked off the whole thing of Marvel, what we enjoy today. Robert Downey Jr. was down hard, and he basically reinvented his career by playing this role. Like, this was his role. This was his comeback story. And I love to hear that because we all make mistakes. We all have our issues. But at times, we do come back and prove that we can be better than what we were in the past. And Robert Downey Jr. proved that when he put on the red and yellow suit and became Iron Man. Now, if you ask me, is it my favorite out of like the original three? No. But if I had to rank Iron Man 1, we ain't gonna say 3. If I had to rank Iron Man 1, I agree. Robert Downey Jr. is the GOAT. If I had to rank Iron Man 1, we're gonna put it in B. The plot was pretty good. It established who the character was. He's definitely on Tony Stark's. When you think of Tony Stark's, you don't even think of Tony Stark's in the character, like in the comics. You really think of Robert Downey Jr. The villain was good. It kind of related to like real life stuff, or like terrorists and threats and like all these type of like weapons and stuff of mass destruction. Him getting kidnapped, him building a suit. We actually saw his true origin story, and like I said, it kicked off the whole MCU. So I'm gonna put Iron Man in the B tier. All right, let's dive into something a little bit more random. Let's do Kick-Ass. All right, let's do Kick-Ass. All right. I went into, he gave me the Hangry Vegeta face. I don't think he liked Iron Man and B. Alright, so I went into Kick-Ass with no knowledge of the graphic novel that it was based on, no prior knowledge of any of the characters. And I think the only actor I knew from the movie was, what was his name? I can't think of his real name right now, but McLovin and Nicolas Cage, of course. But those are the only two characters I was familiar with. Now, the whole story, if you never saw it, basically of a kid who's kind of like have like an unbreakable body. He just keep getting beat down. He's a punching bag, but he want to be a superhero or he want to be a vigilante, like in the real world. He actually encouraged other people to be vigilantes, and you actually see that he's kind of way over his head. Now, comedy-wise, it's hilarious. Action-wise, it's pretty solid. Like I said, going in the movie with no knowledge of the graphic novels or nothing, no kind of background on it, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I'm going to probably give it a C. It's definitely above Aquaman. And it's not up here. It's definitely not up here. It's not up there. But I give it a C. It was a solid movie. It's not nothing. It had a replay value, but it's not nothing that I'm like, yo, I gotta watch all the time. So we'll go ahead and give that a C. Alright. I'm saving some of the good ones because some of the good ones I'm gonna really have like a real deep dive on. Let's go with I don't know. What should we go with next? Let's go with Doctor Strange. Let's go ahead and go with Doctor Strange. Alright. Doctor Strange, let's talk about that a little bit. Doctor Strange was a pretty solid movie. I love the special effects of it. I love how Benedict Cumberbatch really did embody who Doctor Strange was. He was kind of a little bit of arrogance, but he had this sense of like, you really had to learn like, hey, you don't know everything, because when he really was learning how to do magic and everything, he kind of had to take a back seat. So I was really, I'm going to go on Deadpool next. I was really, really intrigued with that. I thought he developed that character really well. The plot was good. The villains was kind of lackluster in a little bit. I mean, you had Dormammu, but like he wasn't really in the movie. It was more of his henchmen, and you kind of see I forget my guy's name. He's about to be the villain in the next movie. You kind of do see him get into this whole sense of like, yo, I can't believe the wise one actually not doing what she's supposed to be doing. She says one thing, but she goes the other way. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. Very satisfying. Had a lot of good jokes in it. I enjoyed it. We want to go ahead and put Doctor Strange in B. Alright, so Let's go with Deadpool, which I saw. Where's Deadpool at? Let's go ahead and go with Deadpool. It is... Here we go. Alright. So, Deadpool. Alright. I'm not gonna lie. I love Ryan Reynolds when he's... Let's be honest. Any movie Ryan Reynolds in, he played the same character every time. He's Ryan Reynolds. He's just Ryan Reynolds in this role, Ryan Reynolds in that role. So, with that in mind, I was like, I did not like, what was it? X-Men Origins. That's up here too. We're going to talk about that. I did not like his character in there. I didn't like how they made Deadpool a mute. How he had like the long sword that was coming out his skin and tried to kind of make him like be like Wolverine, but he wasn't Wolverine. So for them to recon all of that and make this into a movie, I thought it was phenomenal. It didn't have too many like X-Men cameos in there. It had just enough. I thought the plot was good. The story was funny. The villain was like, he wasn't really a well-known villain, but it was still good enough because you really telling Deadpool origin story. I laughed. I liked it. I will rewatch it. It has a lot of replay value. Deadpool's getting an A. It's the first one we're putting on a hot tier. I give it an A. When it comes to like true comic source material, when it comes to the humor, the jokes, the movie, it wasn't too long. Deadpool get an A. So we're going to go with that. Alright. Now, let's get into... I don't even know why Joker on here, because Joker really wasn't a good... Joker wasn't a superhero movie. Let's get into... where should we go next? Well known around the cleaning products. What should we get into next? Let's see. What should we get into? I'm trying to keep some of the heavy hitters off. Let's go ahead and get, since we on Ryan Reynolds, let's go ahead and get into Green Lantern. Alright. Story time. So, when Green Lantern came out, I was working at the movie theater. I don't want to say the movie theater name, but I was working in the movie theater. And when I was working in the movie theater, I remember I can get like free movies or free tickets to movies anytime I wanted to. So when this came out, I was like, yo, I want to see it. Because, I like Green Lantern. I thought his powers was cool. All this other great stuff. And it was the first movie, Ajax, yeah. My guy Ajax. Not a lot of people knew who he was. Because he was in the comics too. But I digress. Anyway, so Green Lantern. Green Lantern was, it was an interesting movie. Hold up. Let me take that back. It was an intriguing movie until I saw the movie and said the movie was hot garbage. Like, that was the first movie I ever saw in 3D. I'm glad I saw it for free, and I'm glad I saw it in the movie theater, because if I would have went to the movie theaters and paid for that, I would have wanted my money back. That movie was trash. Horrible. I have not met a single soul on this planet that told me they enjoyed the Green Lantern movie. And if they did, they're lying to themselves, and I do not trust anything they say. So, with my description of what I just said, I think you know where Green Lantern is going. We got our first F movie. This movie was trash. This movie was beyond trash. This movie sucked. I hated it. I was kind of skeptical of seeing Ryan Reynolds do Deadpool because of this movie. This movie, don't ever get mentioned again. I will never watch this movie again. I don't think I ever seen the movie more than once. Even when it comes on TV, it's an automatic snooze fest. It's automatic. I will watch freaking Heat of the Night or all that other BS that my grandparents used to watch. MASH and all them other old shows before I watch Green Lantern. Green Lantern is at the bottom of the barrel. Next. Alright, so let's go with... I got an interesting one. Let's go with the first Fantastic Four. Alright. First Fantastic Four. I vaguely remember it. I remember it had Jessica Alba. That's when she was really, really huge at the time. It had not Chris Pratt. It had I cannot think of his name real quick. Captain America. God, I'm about to... What is Captain... It's not Chris Pratt. It's not Chris Hemsworth. I'm so mad I just forgot his name. It is... Not his name. Chris Evans. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I forgot Chris Evans' name. Alright. So, we're going with... What did I say? Was I say the first Captain... No. Oh, Fantastic Four. Alright. Fantastic Four. I had Chris Evans, Jessica Alba... I don't forget who played Mr. Fantastic and who played the Thing or whatever, but all I know is it was really they was trying to introduce us to the whole Fantastic Four. Growing up, I really didn't care for the Fantastic Four. I know they had a Fantastic Four cartoon. It wasn't as good as the Spider-Man original animated series or the X-Men animated series, but I know they had like cameos here and there, so I saw like bits and clips of the movie, like the cartoon. So when the movie came out, I was like, I knew who they were, but I really didn't know who they were. So when the movie came out, I was like, but everybody know who Doctor Doom is because he probably showed up in every type of media you can think of, video games, other cartoon series. He was like known as a big bad. So I know who Doctor Doom was more than I knew who the Fantastic Four was. Overall, I vaguely remember the movie, but I know I didn't really like the movie, so it wasn't bad per se, it wasn't an F, but it wasn't good. So we're gonna go ahead and put Fantastic Four, the first one, in the D column. And might as well talk about the Fantastic Four reboot. That one was even worse than the original one. I'm not even gonna really speak on too much of it. I do like the guy who played Mr. Fantastic, the main character. I don't even remember most of the cast. I think Michael B. Jordan played Human Torch. That's hilarious. I think it's funny when we always see somebody start off as a superhero and then that don't work and then they end up going to be another superhero. I like that, but man, that movie is an F. I probably... where do I put it on a tier list? I probably put that ahead of... Do I want... Nah. Yeah, it's ahead of this because this movie's really bad. Yeah. All right. Let me move the cam over. How about that? Let's do this. All right. There we go. All right, sorry about that. All right, so right now we have Deadpool as the highest rating that I give. Iron Man get a solid B. Doctor Strange get a solid B. Kick-Ass get a C. Aquaman get a solid C. And then, yeah, this movie was horrible, and these movies was horrible. All right, so where are we on the list now? All right. Let's go ahead and get some more F's out the way. Daredevil. I have a friend who, you already know this, but damn, which one is worse though? I probably, if we had to put in order, this probably the worst of the worst, and then I don't know, man. These are all pretty bad. So I have a friend I went to go see to the movie theaters to see Daredevil with. He went with me and my mom, and I'll never forget. Anytime I see him to this day, at my age to this day, he be like, man, I blame you for watching that horrible movie. And I be like, whoa, I didn't know it was going to be that bad myself. But like, Daredevil was bad, man. It was really, really bad. Like, Ben Affleck is when I really looked at Ben Affleck and I was like, yo, you can only play a generic role because you definitely went in Daredevil. And we're going to get into him being Batman a little bit later. But he was another actor cast in a superhero role that I never wanted to see again. And surprisingly, we didn't. Surprisingly, we did see it again. Now, Daredevil, the TV show, I loved it. Like, the TV show made me actually like the Daredevil character a lot more. The actor that played him, I'm glad they bring him back to the Disney MCU. That series was phenomenal. Like, they did everything right. Out of all the Netflix Marvel series, Daredevil was probably number one. Then Punisher, and then Luke Cage, and then Jessica Jones, and then I really didn't care for the actor that played Iron Fist, and so I really didn't watch his series. But the actor sucked on every like cameo and on the one that they all was on together. But my favorite scene in Daredevil, and I'm gonna actually make a video of this, so I'll probably edit that clips and put it in here. But my favorite scene in the Daredevil is when he's going to go save somebody, and he fighting everybody in the hallway. And then I like in the second one with him and Punisher, and I want to say somebody else is fighting in the hallway. So Daredevil the series, phenomenal. If I was doing a TV series, Daredevil series would get an A, but the movie sucked. Alright, let's get into something that I watched recently. Let's get into Black Widow. So Black Widow, I went into the mindset with like, why did they come out with a movie with Black Widow when she was already dead from the MCU? But it did introduce some new characters to the Disney Plus series. So I kind of like that, and probably like a new character we'll probably see later on, and Marvel. It kind of gave us her backstory, so it kind of closed and tied like the loose ends of her story that we didn't know. And whoa. First of all, let me say welcome to my channel. I appreciate it. Welcome to the chat for the first time. Make sure you hit that follow button, and if that's how you feel, you about to get a rude awakening when I get there. But let me get back on Black Widow. So it kind of like closed the loose ends of her story. We actually got to see her family, and the main villain. I didn't hate how they did Taskmaster, but I thought they were gonna go another direction with like Taskmaster as a whoa, you trolling. Taskmaster as a villain. But all in all, it was decent. It wasn't bad. It didn't blow me away. It wasn't bad. I think it was just kind of came in a timeline just a little bit too late. I think they should have put that in there a little bit earlier. So we're gonna go ahead and put Black Widow probably as a C. Probably put it in front of Kick-Ass. Oh, I didn't know who that was. What's up, Ricky? All right, so you stupid, man. So yeah, we're gonna put Black Widow on the C tier. All right, so let's go ahead and get this out the way, man. Let's go ahead and put some in the S tier. You already know that was gonna go up there. Oh, Roberto, you silly too. You already know this was gonna go up there. Dark Knight to me is probably. I don't want to get ahead of myself because there's a couple other Batman movies I'm gonna talk about, but Dark Knight probably one of the best Batman movies of all time. Some people argue that Heath Ledger really did carry that movie. Now, if you want me to be honest, it's hard for me to say he really carried that movie because then you're taking away from all the other great actors in that movie. The guy who played Commissioner Gordon did a phenomenal job. Christian Bale, and I had a conversation with this with a couple people too. Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, he does a great job. Christian Bale as Batman is not bad per se, but he's decent enough to carry the movie. And who else was in that movie? The guy who played Two-Face did a great job. I know they replaced Rachel in the second movie. She didn't do a bad job either. So, like, and the plot of the movie was really interesting. But I hate to say it, let's be honest, Heath Ledger he didn't carry that movie, but he led that movie. Even if he didn't pass away, some people were like, well, if he didn't pass away, that movie wouldn't be as great. Nah, that movie was great. That movie was well written and well executed. Wait, did you see the Robert Pattinson Batman? No spoil. I did, and that's on this list too. And I'm gonna talk about that too. I did actually saw it this weekend. That's on the list. When I get to it, I'm gonna tell you where I put it when I get to it. But yeah, Dark Knight going to S here. Now, when we talk about another S, oh, do I want to go S tier? Nah, let's go Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy, first movie. I had no expectation going into that movie. I knew a lot of the actors who was in the movie. Chris Pratt, I already was familiar with him. Of course, Batista, because I'm big into wrestling. So I knew everybody who just played in that movie. Let me look up the cast. Like, it had a solid cast of people. So when the movie came out, yeah, Zoe Zadana, Vin Diesel with Rocket. Like, I was already well familiar with so many people in the movie. I already knew what to look forward to. But I didn't know if I would enjoy the movie or not. But after watching the movie, it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Soundtrack is phenomenal. The movie is good. I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. The soundtrack really do carry. I'm not gonna say it carried the movie. The soundtrack do help amplify how great that movie is. Like, we actually got the vinyl of the soundtrack from that movie. But great plot. I'm all into, like, it's weird because I didn't like Star Wars and Star Trek growing up, but I love all that whole space exploration and all this and that. So I like the whole thing of different races and when they were going on different planets and you see like the coordinates and stuff. That's my type of thing. I was really into that. So I give Guardians of the Galaxy an A. Now, do I put it in front of Deadpool though? Yeah, I'm putting it in front of Deadpool. So Guardians of the Galaxy get an A. Alright, let's get into something a little bit wackier. Let's get into... So, some of these movies at the bottom I've never seen, so we ain't gonna go over all of them. But let's talk about... Where should we go next? What's good, Nori? I knew you're gonna enjoy this too, man, because I want to hear your opinion on this. Alright, let's get into... Nah, it won't be, man. I don't think it's gonna be 24 hours because some of these gonna go pretty quick. Let's get into Shazam. All right, so where do I put Shazam? Again, I really don't like DC live action movies. I don't have a huge expectation for DC live action movies, but the cast in there was surprisingly good. The movie was actually good. The storyline was good. It really did set up for the future of, like, I'm intrigued enough what's going on. Really invested in a little boy who kept being in and out of foster homes, and then he actually found a family that really like him, and he get these powers, but instead of being like a superhero, he's kind of a dick. And let's be honest, that's how most teenagers would be if they got powers like that. Not everybody gonna have that, oh, I'm gonna go save them, all this and that. So it was really interesting. The plot was good. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give Shazam is probably one of the better DC live action movies I've seen before. I'll give Shazam, we give it a B. We'll give it a B. Yeah, we'll give it a B. It's not better than Doctor Strange or probably Iron Man 1, but it's definitely better than most of the other DC movies I've seen before. Let's go with Ant-Man, the first one. Ant-Man, the first one. All right, anybody, if you really know me, one of my favorite movies of all time is 40-Year-Old Virgin. I will probably spit that movie verbatim from line. Like, I love 40-Year-Old Virgin. I think we own like 2 different versions of that. Paul Rudd, one of my favorite actors. I think that dude do not age at all. He aged backwards. He's hilarious to me. All in all, I did think the movie was funny. I thought it was really solid. It really introduced his character. It made me care about a superhero I never really thought I would care about, which is Ant-Man. And I felt like they casted the right person for that role because it did engage everybody in the movie. So I would probably give Ant-Man a C. We'll put Ant-Man a C. It wasn't like great, but it was pretty good. So we'll go ahead and throw Ant-Man as a C. All right, let's get into Spawn, man. Let's get into something controversial. All right, Spawn was probably one of the first superhero movies I seen when I was a kid, which is funny because I probably shouldn't really. Story reminded me of Masters, or I can say that I probably really shouldn't have been watching Spawn at the time, but I was actually watching Spawn, which is another disclaimer. People used to say I look like Michael J. White sometimes, so I used to get that sometimes too in the face. But like, I thought it was good. From when I was a kid, I would have to watch it now to really like give y'all my full like how I feel about the movie. But when I was a kid, I did like Spawn. I knew he was like a superhero from hell. It was just a funny movie, man. Like, I agree. It had a couple cool scenes in there, and it got me into superhero movies. So I can't say it's a D, can't say it's an F, but I can't say it's bet more than a C. Now, do I put it? I would put it in a C. I think. Nice. I do like Spawn. I like what his creator, because his creator basically created Venom. So I like the whole thing how he went from Venom to Spawn or whatever. Todd McFarlane. So I like the whole character, and I like the whole different aspect of what makes Spawn Spawn. But yeah, we can't say it's more than anything else. Spawn is a C. Let's go with. Ooh, I know what I want to do. Let's do the first X-Men movie. All right. First X-Men movie probably blew me away as a kid because it was like, yo, this is the X-Men. Like, I love the X-Men growing up. I love the X-Men animated series. I love the cartoon. Wolverine's my favorite X-Men. To me, I think the X-Men have some of the best villains. I thought it was really a good movie during this time. Like, I felt like at its time, at its core, as a superhero movie, it wasn't a lot of them out there, but X-Men was like one of the ones that really got me like, yo, I can see more live action superhero movie. So we're going to give the first X-Men, we'll give it a B. We'll put it in front of all of these right now. X-Men is iconic. I don't think I can put it in the A tier. Not the first one. But since we're on the X-Men series, let's go ahead and go into the second one. Now, the second one is X2. X2 I thought was even better because not only did they, like, enhance what they already was telling, but they introduced a lot of people's favorite characters. You had Nightcrawler in there. You had X-23. You had a lot of these other... You had the whole Weapon X storyline. You had so many different things in there. Now, the only thing I'll say that X-Men doesn't do well is Cyclops. I felt like even though I don't like Cyclops as an X-Men, he still is somewhat of a cool character. So they didn't really do Cyclops well, but it did like advance some of these characters in the storyline. So I'm going to put X2 probably ahead of X-Men. I probably won't put it over Iron Man. Yeah, agreed. So we're going to get into that too. I put X-Men 2 over that. Now, X3 per se, besides some of the meme-worthy jokes that was in there, X3 was okay, but it wasn't like great. It wasn't that good either. So X3, besides they had the Juggernaut, which is one of my favorite X-Men villain in there, and they kind of went into the Dark Phoenix storyline. I kind of like that too. They had Beast in there. They had like all these cool people in there, but I feel like it was more fan service than anything because they didn't really like my man said, they didn't do the Phoenix storyline great. They dropped the ball on like a lot of the characters. Like I said, I mean, you had Juggernaut in there, so I was a huge fan of that. So we're gonna put X3. It wasn't nowhere near these shitty movies, but we'll put X3 right here for right now. Definitely ain't better than Spawn in my opinion, because Spawn wasn't great, but Spawn was better than X-Men 3. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going with the X-Men series since I'm right here. First Class. All right, First Class, really good movie. Introduced a lot of different mutants. Did a backstory for Magneto and Professor Xavier. You cast these new actors in that role. You basically like build on this universe. You kind of reboot it, but you kind of still build on the same universe that you already have established. I would give X-Men, what is it, Origins or whatever. I give that. Ooh, I would probably place it. Yeah, I place it before this. We're gonna place it. Yeah, I think right there, fine for right now. All right, now let's really get into my. Now this is my favorite X-Men movie, X-Men Days of Future Past is probably the best X-Men movie to me to this date. Live action best X-Men movie to this date. It followed a really crazy storyline. I really enjoy the plot. I enjoy the whole Wolverine going back in the past and future thing. Only thing I ain't like in there, they had to kill the brother Bishop. Like, you introduced Bishop and you killed the brother off. Like, come on, this ain't a horror movie. They had to kill the brother off. I wasn't a fan of that. But other than that, and the Bishop is a cool character too. Bishop was the one who really was supposed to go into the past and do all of that stuff. But to me, Days of Future Past is the best X-Men movie, live action movie of all time. So we're putting that. Oh boy, yeah, it's going before X2. Yeah, it's going before Iron Man as well. Yeah, it's going before like it was. Do I want to put it in A? Nah, we'll put it right here for right now. Because to me, it's the best X-Men live action movie. So we'll put it in A. Alright. Let's go to one of my favorite. It might not be a lot of people's favorites. But I love Blade, bro. Again, another movie I shouldn't have been watching as a kid. But Wesley Snipes. And then it's come to find out that Blade is a superhero in a comic book world. Man, I was blown away. But, oh, bro, I love Blade. Blade to me, with the dialogue, the eerie, the horror to it, the darkness to it, man, Blade to me is, this might piss a lot of people off. I don't care what nobody say. Blade to me is one of the best comic movies of all time. Blade is going to be, it's going in front of Iron Man. Blade is good. Blade is good because it's not too many comic book movies want to do rated R movies. Like, a lot of them will be on some like, nah, we don't want to do blood and stuff like that. But Blade, you can't have a Blade movie, which I'm mad that the new Blade movie is going to be PG-13, but we'll get on to that later. But you can't have a Blade movie without being rated R. So, since my man Nori already brought it up, Blade 2, it basically improved everything the first movie had. And just basically pushed it off a mountain. Like, it just went extreme. I love Blade 2. Like, I had nightmares about them vampires in the sewers, though. Them mugs was scary. But, man, I love Blade 2. And RIP to my mom. We watched Blade 2 so much. Like, she the reason why I'm into, like, a lot of superhero stuff. Because she was a tomboy growing up. So, it's Blade 2 got to go in an A tier. Do I want to put in an S tier? Ooh. Alright, Blade 2. I'm sorry, Blade 2 gonna be right here right now. I might move it up here. But Blade 2 is great. I'm not moving. Yeah, in my opinion, Blade 2 is an A movie. Like, now, the one with Triple H in it. Actually, this is Trinity. So this is actually right here, and this is the first one. Yeah, Trinity was garbage. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the concept was cool when they brought Dracula in there, and again, this was one of my first time seeing Ryan Reynolds, and I was like, yo, this dude is just a comic relief. Like, Trinity was like bad. I hated Trinity. And again, it made me look at Ryan Reynolds like, what are you doing in this movie? I thought it was cool that they had, what's her name from Seven Heaven? Whatever her name, the oldest daughter from Seven Heaven. They had her trying to be like a superhero or whatever. Blade Trinity, we don't even speak on that. But Blade 2 is A tier. Alright. Let's get into one of my favorite, Jessica Biel. Thank you. Jessica Biel. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. When you come from where I came from and we have like a lot of cable a lot of time, I used to watch the hell out of Seven Heaven. It's crazy how that dad is a creeper in real life, but boy, I used to watch the hell out of some Seven Heaven, man. I used to sing the theme song, Seven Heaven. Like, Seven Heaven was my shit. But nah, she was horrible in Blade Trinity. It wasn't her fault though, but most of the plot was pretty bad. Alright, let's go ahead and get into my favorite superhero. We're not going to do all his movies, because we already know if I do all his movies, I still know the theme song too. We already know if I do all his movies. Boy. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the Amazing Spider-Man. How about that? Because I don't want to get into the first series. Amazing Spider-Man, you get a new guy, you get Andrew Garfield. To me, Andrew Garfield is probably the best portrayal of Spider-Man on live action screen. So I'm not going to take that away from him. His Peter Parker sucked. But the first Spider-Man, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. I like the Lizard as a villain. I like the whole, and I think I agree with you, Roberto. Like, I like the whole aspect of, like, who he was. And the costume, the whole new take on the costume was pretty cool. But, again, like, I don't have replay value. So we're going to put Spider-Man, the first one, here. Yeah. I'll probably put it there. Then let's go ahead and get rid of this series. So let's do the Amazing Spider-Man 2 now. Anybody know me know I love Jamie Foxx. Yo, welcome to the chat, man. Please, if you're new, go ahead and hit that follow button. I appreciate it. I'm glad everybody in here. We're doing a tier list of superheroes. So far, we got Dark Knight basically sitting up top by itself. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. Alright. So, let's go ahead and get into the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, anybody know me know I love Jamie Foxx as an actor, as a singer, as a comedian. Like, I watch the Jamie Foxx show as much as some black people watch Martin. And I watch both of them religiously. But, like, the Jamie Foxx show, the Braxton Hartnebridge, all of that, I'm a Jamie Foxx fan. So I was happy when he actually got a role as a villain in a movie because I know Jamie Foxx is funny. But then I watched Amazing Spider-Man 2 and I was like, this shit is not funny. This shit is lame. Appreciate the follow. Thank you. I was like, yo, this is garbage. Like, this is horrible. Like, nothing about, you know what was funny about that movie? How bad it was. But the one thing about that movie that always sit with me is the Gwen Stacy death. Like, just to see what he went through, I do get emotional seeing that. Like, seeing him basically at her gravesite as a season pass, and he just there, and he just looking at, like, that does have that whole Spider-Man sense of, with great power comes with great responsibility, but sometimes you can't save everybody, and sometimes you do hurt the people who you love who are around you. So, the ending is the only thing that's really saving this movie from being a F, but I'm going to probably put it a D, but it's not no higher than that. Just only off the ending alone. And Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. And the rest of it sucked. Now, let's go ahead and get into Spider-Man. You know what? We're going to do that. Let's go with, do we want to do Tom Holland or do we want to do Tobey? You know what? Let's go with Spider-Man 3. Let's go ahead and start off with that. Spider-Man 3. Beef of Vendetta is not on this list, unfortunately. Spider-Man 3. So, Spider-Man 3, what do I want to say about it? The only reason why Spider-Man 3 is more memorable now is because the memes that, like, birthed after the movie years later. Like, the whole Tobey doing the dance with the dark suit and the hair. And everybody know I'm a fan of Pocket Sand. Like, Pocket Sand is my joint. So when he was like, I'm going to put some dirt in your eyes, I was like, hey, that's the equivalent of Pocket Sand. I mean, it had a Sandman in there. I think I read something where a lot of the people was pushing for Venom, but the creator wanted to do Sandman, so he tried to, like, somebody else wanted to do, like, Green Goblin, so they tried to throw all of them in a movie, and it just didn't turn out well. And everybody knows Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, so Venom is probably my favorite villain. Like, I love Venom, and we're going to get into his movie series later, too. I do like the scene where he's fighting him in the sewer, and like Nori said, it does have some great action scenes, but other than that, it falls flat. So we'll put Spider-Man 3. Boy. Yeah, do I want to put... Yeah, we'll put Spider-Man 3 right there. Alright. Spider-Man 2. If you ask anybody... Nah, let's start with Spider-Man 1. How about that? Because Spider-Man 1, it introduced us to a live-action Spider-Man movie. I know they had them old ones in the 90s. And I mean, not in the 90s, in like the 80s, or not 80s, like 70s, 60s, 50s, like them old ones. But like, This introduced us to a whole new lore of live action. Toby, to me, Peter Parker is really good. Oh man. That's funny. Yo, my man, Macho Man Randy Savage was in that movie. Again, I'm a huge wrestling mark, so if you watch wrestling and you know who Macho Man Randy Savage is, he was the main reason I was snapping into a Slim Jim. Let's be honest. I love that part where he fighting him. The guy who played Green Goblin does a great job. Glad they brought him back. And I have to say, Spider-Man 1 is A, but I think Spider-Man 1 sits right here. 3 minutes of playtime. Yo, that was my shit. Okay, Spider-Man 3 and the meme is better than Aquaman. You need to reevaluate that. Is it though? We're going to move it up on a C list. We're going to reorganize some stuff when I get done. Like I said, I'm not doing all these at the bottom because, like, Sky High and some of these other Ben 10, I never watched that shit. Surprisingly, I never watched the New Mutants and I haven't seen Eternal. So, once I get done, we're going to reorganize some of these tier lists. But, we're going to go with probably, maybe my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. Spider-Man 2. It had everything that a Spider-Man movie needed to have. It had Peter Parker losing his power. It had him like losing his friends, him balancing him and MJ. His teacher being like turning on him and somebody, his mentor. And we all know like Peter don't have a lot of mentors, so for that to happen, it hurt. I like the resolution of the movie. I like the villain. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. Spider-Man 2, S tier. Is it better than Dark Knight? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. Right now, we're going to sit it right there. Let's go into the Tom Holland Spider-Man series. So let's go with the second one. The second one probably my least favorite one. I hate Mysterio as a villain. I never liked Mysterio as a villain. I thought he's the worst Spider-Man villain of all time. Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm not a huge fan of him. I'm not a huge fan of Jake Gyllenhaal at all. I never really cared too much for what Jake Gyllenhaal did. I did like a lot of the jokes in the movie, but it's not a D. It's definitely not a B, but it's a C. It's probably, oh boy. Yeah, it's probably right here. Yeah, I'll sit it right there. Alright, now, the first one though. The first one is... Which one is this? Is this the first one? Yeah, this is the first one. Now, the first one's actually pretty better. It had Michael Keaton as a Vulture. It introduced, like, a lot of the characters. I did like the storyline. Do I like Tom Holland as a Spider-Man, though? I don't hate him as Spider-Man. He just reminds me of a frantic kid a lot, but him as Peter Parker not bad either. Like, I feel like he's like that combination between Tobey and Andrew. So I will probably put the first one right here. Yeah, the first one goes right there. Now, No Way Home. Whew, boy. This might make a... Oh, man. Alright, so if you haven't seen No Way Home, I'm trying not to, like, spoil it for you. I think everybody had a chance to see No Way Home, though. But No Way Home basically is the conclusion of all of the three series. And to me, I feel like Spider-Man being my favorite superhero, seeing those three different versions of Spider-Man, seeing all the villains in that movie, I feel like it's a great movie. It's everything about that movie is like it hits on all cylinders. I can't really even talk bad about the movie. The only thing I would say, like, I know some people enjoy the second half more than the first half, but I like the whole movie altogether. It told a story. It really showed him growing as Spider-Man, and then the ending itself. Yeah, this is S tier, but is it better than Spider-Man 2 though? I'm gonna say no. I might come back to that, but look, Toby crawled so Tom can run. That's all I'm gonna say. And there, without Spider-Man 2, there would be no Way Home. So we're gonna leave this right here for right now. All right, but our S tier is looking like solid movies. Like I said, Dark Knight, Spider-Man 2, and No Way Home. Now, let's get into some of the. Ooh, do we want to talk about the Batman? No, we're gonna save that. Let's get into some of the old Batman. All right, so the first original Batman, probably one of the few movies. All right, we'll talk about Man of Steel. Let's get into Man of Steel. Y'all might not like my whole basically explanation of Man of Steel. All right, so Man of Steel is like the whole Henry Cavill backstory. I'm not Henry Cavill, or however you say his name. My man who played Clark Kent is his whole backstory. Again, I worked at the movie theaters when this came out, so I saw this one for free. And I remember me and the missus went to go see it, and she fell asleep a couple times. The big action scene towards the end was straight, but I'm going to be biased. I'm not a Superman fan. Like, I don't like Big Blue. I don't care what nobody say. He got all these great powers, this and that. So I'm going to be biased anytime a Superman movie come out. But Henry Cavill, I love him as The Witcher. And to see that he's a nerd in real life, I'm starting to like him as an actor. But as the Man of Steel, it just don't cut out for me. So Man of Steel is going in a D. But I hate Man of Steel. I'm not gonna lie. Man of Steel is probably, it's not an F, but it's, yeah, we're gonna put that right there. Man of Steel is pretty bad. All right, so since we on Man of Steel, where the other sequel to it? Batman versus Superman. All right, again, Ben Affleck is Batman. All right, so I was already pissed that he was even cast as Batman. I did like that he got really swole for the role. He looked like he was in great shape. But I hate this movie too. I'm not gonna lie. This movie is not going more than a C, but I mean, at least you got Batman versus Superman, so I'll put it in front of that. And Martha! That and the scene where Batman is whooping all them people ass make that whole movie. And Wonder Woman showing up. Wonder Woman, the Martha crap, and Batman beating everybody ass makes that whole movie. Other than that movie trash too. So, Justice League. We got two different versions of the Justice League. We got the Snyder's Cut, and then we got the first Justice League. And I did not like the first Justice League at all. I didn't like the storytelling. I felt like the movie was, which is weird because I'm about to talk about the next one. I thought the movie was too long. I didn't like it, man. And let's be honest. Let's cut the BS. Like, it was a horrible movie. Yeah, I felt like Warner Brothers really was trying to rush to keep up with Disney. Be like, hey, let's make this whole big movie with all the superheroes in there, and they failed miserably. So we're gonna put Justice League. To me, it's ahead of Man of Steel, but it's not more than Batman Superman. Now, the Snyder Cut was slightly better. I probably. Oh boy, we're gonna have to rearrange some of this stuff. Cause I did not like the Snyder. I mean, I like the Snyder Cut a little bit better, even though I just said the first one was too long. But yeah, we'll leave it like that. Like I felt like it was better than the first one. Would I rewatch it? Probably not. But you know. All right, let's get into the first Avengers though. First Avengers, we're gonna go ahead and put you right here. It was a combination of all the great movies that they build up to, and for them to actually pull it off over these, I don't know how many years, I think 4 or 5 years for them to pull it off, Had all of these actors in the movie. Nobody was a prima donna. Everybody got their dues in the movie. Great villain, great. It's to me, Avengers as an A tier. It's not better than Blade 2 in my opinion, because I still love Blade 2. It's not an S tier, but one of the Avengers movie will be up here. But you'll kind of see when I get into that. Now, the Avengers Age of Ultron, though, I didn't enjoy it. That's probably my least favorite out of the whole Avengers franchise. I did like the introduction of Wanda and Pietro. I don't like how they kept calling the mutants the gifted, and they kind of like switched that around. Age of Ultron is the weakest one, but where would I put Age of Ultron? Ultron, it did introduce Vision though, so I can't take away, and it has some funny scenes in there. So I will put Age of Ultron over. It's definitely not in B, but it's better than all of these movies. Is it better than Spider-Man 3? Spider-Man 3 just means by itself is hilarious. Is it better than The Amazing Spider-Man? Yeah. Probably. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. That's why I said. That's why I can't put Ultron. I can't put Avengers nowhere in D or F, because it gave us Ultron. It gave us the whole Steve Rogers lifting up Mjolnir. Like, it kind of set up for stuff later on. It's not great. And then it gave us Wanda. So, but I can't put it. I don't put it over Ant-Man because I enjoy Ant-Man. I can't put it over Black Widow either, because out of all of them, I probably watched the Age of Ultron the least. Now, let's get into this. Ultron's basically unbeatable motherfucker. He does not see like that much of bad. He didn't. But that's all a horrible writing. So let's get into Infinity War. Infinity War to me is definitely S tier. Ooh, but is it? Yeah, it's better than No Way Home, because the ending left me with my jaw drop. Oh, is it better than Spider-Man 2 though? Yeah. I'm not even gonna kid myself. I don't think it's better than Dark Knight. But hold that thought. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. We're gonna get into this. All right. So, yeah, to me, Infinity War was so good because the ending was one of the first times you see the heroes lose. That ending left so much of an impression on me. I walked out the movie theater pissed. But it introduced and created who Thanos was. Like, Thanos was nobody to mess with. Like, it showed you sometimes the good guys don't always win, which I want to talk about this, but we're going to talk about One Piece later. But sometimes the good guys don't always win, and it made me mad because it killed. I mean, the movie been out for a while. It killed off most of my favorite superheroes in that movie, so I was hot. But it brought everybody together, showed you how Thanos was a threat. Because I knew of Thanos from the video games and a little bit from the comics, but I didn't know Thanos was that. I always thought the big bad was like Galactus, but it made it seem like, yo, Thanos was nobody to mess with. And to me, yeah, I put Infinity War S tier. Yo, appreciate it. Just subscribe. So yeah, I put Infinity War. I'm definitely gonna put it in S tier. Now, I watched this. Thank you. I watched this today actually, because I got a couple of animated movies and I want to decide where to put this. Now, my favorite DC animated. First of all, let's talk about this. DC animated movies are by far the best movies compared to their live action movies. Even when it comes to Marvel DC cartoon movies, DC cartoon movies blow Marvel out the water. I don't care what anybody say. Like, every DC movie I've seen, except maybe one or two, has been great. I will rewatch it every now and then just because of how good of a movie is. And I scratch my head. I'm like, why don't the live action people use that source and put that towards their movies? Because the writing and everything is done so well. It's so superb. Like, I don't get why they don't do that. But that's a topic for another day. Now, the massive, Phantasma? Is it Phantasma? Or Massive Phantom or whatever? Phantasm. I did watch this today because I was like, yo, where do I rank this as in some of the DC movies? To me, and I was talking to my friend, I know Barry's in the chat. I was talking to him about this today. I said, to me, Under the Red Hood is my favorite DC animated movie. And it's crazy too because when we talk about Joker, my favorite Joker is Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker. Like, a lot of people knew him as Luke Skywalker, but I knew him as the Joker. I knew him as Hobgoblin. Like, he was one of the reasons why, if I ever would to get into like voice acting, was because of him, because he's captured that character. So his inclusion in the movie, the whole plot of the movie, the whole story, how you kind of see Bruce battle if he should be with the love of his life or if he should actually do the Batman thing. Is a well taught movie. It introduced like how corrupt people is being manipulated, like when the mafia basically scare these people out of town, and then people see the movie. You should know the movie, the plot twist and who actually is behind the mask. It's a great movie. Now, to me, again, I still put the Red Hood over it slightly because I like the whole Red Hood storyline. But to me, I will say it is a A-tier movie, but I'm going to have to say, and it's kind of hard when you talk about cartoons and live action movies, but I'm gonna talk about another cartoon movie after this. I'm gonna probably put it up here. It's A-tier. To me, I don't think it's better than The Dark Knight. But I do think it's a great movie. Now, I recommend it. If you haven't seen it, go on HBO Max, watch it. Now, this might be controversial, but Into the Spider-Verse. And yeah, no lie, Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. Is no debating that with me. And it ain't even just because Miles is in it, but to me, Into the Spider-Verse had the whole, everything about it, from the music, of course the soundtrack, to the different versions of Spider-Man, to you see Peter B. Parker, you have a variety of villains. You have a nice little twist. I'm looking forward to the second one. They're actually going to have Spider-Man 2099 in there. Into the Spider-Verse, to me, the best Spider-Man movie of all time. We're talking live action. Spider-Man 2 might be the best. We're talking about Spider-Man movies. Into the Spider-Verse might be... Yeah, you're right, Robert. You're right, Barry. I think Into the Spider-Verse is Marvel's best animated effort, which is crazy because I just hyped up Batman. Into the Spider-Verse was done well, from the designs, the music, the colors, everything. Yeah, and it's more Sony. It's not even Marvel. You're right. Into the Spider-Verse is done great. And the actor that plays Miles, I've been following him a while. I follow him in the movie Dope, the series Dope. He was in that. He was in on my. Is it on my? It's not On My Block. It's The Block or whatever. he could be an arrogant person, but I love that movie. So yes, and it's representation. Let's be honest. Like it's representation for everybody in there, and I like how Peter is like this overweight guy. He's just not the guy who he was anymore. But best Spider-Man movie all time. Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite live action. Into the Spider-Verse is up there. All right. The pig. I forget. But you have a little bit of everything in there. You have the pig. You have everything. That's why I love that movie. Since we on animated movie, they got Big Hero 6 on here. Big Hero 6, Disney do no wrong when it comes to a lot of their animated movie. Whether it's their princess movies or their superhero movies or, except like it's weird because I did not like the live action Lion King. The live action Aladdin was really good, but the live action Lion King I fell asleep on. And Beauty and the Beast wasn't that bad either. But Big Hero 6 was pretty good though. I'm not gonna lie. But to put it in anywhere with these other movies, it's probably it's better than Aquaman. I'll put Big Hero 6 right there. It's a heartwarming movie, and we know Disney does those heartwarming movies really well. And I think I like the whole idea of, to me, if you look at some of my favorite superheroes, I like the superheroes who are strong but who really intelligent. The reason why I was really big into science growing up was because of Peter Parker and because of Batman. And to me, seeing like a kid like that who basically built these robots and built these different things with his brother, and it shows you that sometimes your biggest muscle is your brain. I'm not trying to get all preachy or anything, but like I think it's a good representation for kids who want to get into the STEM program, and it's kind of like they pitching something, but they pitching something in a good way. So good heartwarming movie. I recommend it. Like I said, Disney do no bad when it comes to that. Now let's get into. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this in F. This is the Power Ranger reboot. Is it better than any of these? Yeah, I really hate all of these. The Power Ranger reboot was really bad, but the rest of these movies is pretty horrible too. Let's get into the Venom movie. Now, everybody knows Venom is probably one of my favorite comic book villains. I love him as an anti-hero. Everything about Venom. I was happy they was doing a Venom live action movie. And Tom Hardy, surprisingly, is one of my favorite actors. Like, I love Tom Hardy. One of my favorite movies that Tom Hardy's in is called The Warrior. It's a movie about where he's a mixed martial arts fighter, and his brother is a teacher who's also a mixed martial arts fighter. I don't want to spoil the plot for you. If you never watched that movie, go watch it. It's a great movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Like, The Warrior is a good movie. I liked him as Bane. I'm a huge Tom. I liked him in Inception. I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan. But with that being said, is Venom good? It's not. It's not D. I know a lot of people trash it, but maybe that's me being. Yes, Warriors is up there with Rocky. Warriors is a really good movie. It's not. It's not worse than Spider-Man 2. I'll put. Oh, it's gonna stay right here. So, and then Venom 2, Carnage is probably one of my favorite villains of all time. And who they put Woody Harrelson as Carnage, man, they screwed that up. So, boy, but when I watch it again, I'll probably watch it over. Yeah, I'll watch it over all of these movies, and that's saying a lot. And it's only because of Tom Hardy and Venom, but man, yeah, I don't like any of these movies. Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is definitely a C, but I don't know where I want to put it. I probably put Iron Man 2 better than. Yeah, I put Iron Man 2 right here because it was weird. Let's be honest. Let's get the elephant out the room. You had the whole Rhodey switch from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. And I felt like Terrence Howard looked like Rhodey, but I guess him and Robert Downey Jr. couldn't get along. I had with my man Mickey Roy as the main villain, Whiplash. And then they had the other guy who was helping him out, I guess, build the machines. And then it introduced Black Widow, too. So it wasn't bad. I liked the whole fight towards the end, and then the whole kind of where they was building the whole Avengers story plot. So I put it right there. Then let's go to Iron Man 3, which is probably my least favorite out of the trilogy. He wasn't even really in a suit most of that movie, to be honest with you. Like, the armor in that movie was cool, but he really wasn't in the suit. Like, he was barely doing anything. Where is it at? I just saw it. So Iron Man 3, man, Iron Man 3 go right here. I really didn't care for it. It has no replay, work dancing in the speed track. Not it. I did like that scene where he cooked them race cars up though. That was pretty cool. I put Iron Man 3 as we'll move it to C. We'll move it to C because there's parts of the movie that's interesting, but then there's parts of the movie that I'm just like, no. And I haven't watched it in a while, but for obvious reasons. Boy, all right. Ooh, let's get into this. Captain America. All right. Where is the first one? Okay, Captain America, the first one, I wasn't a huge fan of. I did like Chris Evans because I liked him in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I liked him as Human Torch, but I did not like the Fantastic Four series. And I was like Chris Evans as an actor. He just seemed like this cool ass dude. So when they cast him as Captain America, I was like, yeah, he looked like Captain America. Did I like the plot of the first movie? No. Is it better than any of these other movies? Yeah, maybe. Better than Aquaman. But we'll put it right here. We'll put it right there for right now. I didn't like the whole plot of it. Didn't like anything of it. And I didn't really have a lot of hope for the rest of the Captain America series going forward. But then Winter Soldier came out. And Winter Soldier is probably one of my favorite Marvel movies. So Winter Soldier is probably going to be... Boy. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to put Winter Soldier S tier. A lot of people make complaints about Winter Soldier being... like you can switch Captain America out for like a secret spy and put them in there and it'd be the same movie. I don't care. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do, it still, to me, was a great movie from the knife fight, the knife choreography fight, from the whole backstory storyline, and introduced my man Anthony Mackie, a.k.a. Papa Doc. Like, if you watch 8 Mile, he played Papa Doc, he played Tupac. So just to see Anthony Mackie in actually a cool role as the Falcon. Clarence, his real name Clarence, yeah. So I think Black Widow was in there. Samuel Jackson was getting busy. I liked the movie. I know Roberto said he wasn't a huge fan of it. But like, I think what made the movie great, because even it started off with Captain America fighting against St. Pierre. I thought that was cool too. They put him. I really loved the choreographical fights in that movie. Like, that to me made that movie one of the best movies out of the whole MCU. Winter Soldier. I put it over Spider? Yeah, I put it over Spider-Man too, because I watch Winter Soldier a lot. Now let's get into Civil War. Civil War is, to me, Civil War is just as good as... Civil War go S tier too, actually. I'm not gonna lie, because you have the whole like Civil War that was based out in the comics. You have Iron Man versus Captain America. You have the introduction of Spider-Man into the Marvel Universe, which is huge because Sony didn't want to part ways with Spider-Man. So this was big to me because I wanted to see if you're going to talk about Avengers, to me, the Avengers include Spider-Man, Wolverine, Luke Cage, all the other Avengers that we know of, Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider. So like to introduce Spider-Man in there, yeah, you gotta Civil War is S tier. And then I also have my man Black Panther, and we're gonna get into that next. So I have Black Panther. So Civil War really was a great movie. I will probably put Civil War somewhere right here for right now. I don't know, man. Yeah, I put Civil War for right here for right now. Like these might be interchangeable, but like Civil War S tier. Now, since I brought him up, representation. So Michael B. Jordan to me killed the Killmonger. How we didn't get Wolf is still, I don't get that either. Michael B. Jordan to me killed the whole Killmonger character. I actually got a whole cosplay as Killmonger. I'm gonna do a video of this. I'm gonna save a video of this. And I'll throw the picture in there. I got the mask too. I might wear the mask on one random stream, but like not only just that, just the whole everything about this movie, and that's what I like about even Shang-Chi. I liked about it. Like representation is really really key because we see a lot of these different heroes, but sometimes we don't see heroes that look like us, which more are the minorities. So to me, Black Panther was a great movie. Killmonger is probably one of my favorite villains. My man who played the other villain in the movie, I cannot think of his name. He played Alfred in the new Batman movie. I know he played Golem, and y'all can help me out in the comment. He played Golem in the Lord of the Rings series, I think. That guy's an amazing actor. What is his name, man? But yeah, and then to know that Chadwick Boseman was sick, bro, man, Black Panther is not S tier for me simply because I felt they dismissed to intellect. Andy Serkis, thank you. He's a great actor. I love him. Now, I agree with you. Black Panther is not S tier, but it's not B tier either. So it's better than this. We're gonna have to move this around. I'm gonna put X-Men Days of Future Past right here. I'll put Black Panther over that. I'm gonna put X-Men right here. Alright. I think that's where it stands right there for me. So Black Panther is A tier, but it's not S tier. Alright. Should we let's go ahead and go into this series. Let's go into the original Batman. One of the first movies I can remember as a kid, superhero movies, cartoon movies of watching, was the original Batman and the original Ninja Turtle movie. I just remember you know how everybody say Jack Nicholson is that blank? Jack Nicholson was my Joker until Heath Ledger. Because I remember the whole, and I think they had Prince in the movie too, right? I know he did a music video for the whole movie, but I know they had Prince in the movie. So, iconic movie. I think this came out like a year after I was born. But I still was able to, rewatch the movie. Iconic movie. But do it still hold over time? I think it does. I don't think it's definitely... I'll probably put it in the B tier because... Yeah, I'll put it right there. Just because Michael Keaton to me is a great Batman. I thought he was a decent Bruce Wayne too. Now... To me, the best one out of all of those, though, are Batman Returns with Danny DeVito as the Penguin. He looked just like the Penguin. Like, he was creepy, nasty, eating all them fishes and stuff. I thought Michelle Pfeiffer was so hot when I was a kid as Catwoman. I love this movie, man. From the twists and turns where he was trying, I think, run for mayor. The whole them being in, like, the sewers and stuff. I put Batman Returns over... We'll probably put Batman Returns right here for right now. Yeah, I'll probably put it right there. I do think it's better than most of these movies. Because to me, I like the actors and the actresses. And yeah, the actors and the actresses in the movie sold it for me. Like, to me, this is probably Tim Burton's best outing when it comes to that series. Now, Batman and Robin. I want to rank this. Batman Forever. I'm sorry. I want to rank this higher just because I love Jim Carrey. Like, I love anything Jim Carrey do. I think this was Val Kilmer's first appearance as Batman. Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face. Chris O'Donnell was Robin. And I like the boy Wonder, but if I was to rewatch this movie now, it probably won't be that great. So we're gonna put that in the D tier. Kissed by a Rose. But yeah, we'll probably put that in the D tier. Now, this is gonna be funny because I probably Batman and Robin. Alright, so I used to love Arnold Schwarzenegger growing up. Like, everything about him. Like, I wanted to be big just like him. I wanted to be buff. And if anybody knows me, knows I'm a punny guy. Like, I love my puns. Every time he'd be like, stay frosty or chill out. Like, all them corny Mr. Freeze puns. Like, you say a pun around me, I'm going to laugh. And it's like them dad jokes, man. So, like, I'm big when it comes to puns, but that's probably about it. Like, that, I didn't like how they did Bane in that movie, and Poison Ivy by Uma Thurman was okay. I love her as the bride in Kill Bill, though, but and I used to think Alicia Silverstone, I had a crush on her too, but other than that, would I rewatch it over some of these other movies? Yes. Is it a C? No. Is it better to me than Batman Forever? It's better than me than Batman Forever only because of the puns. I think George Clooney is a great representation of how I feel like Bruce Wayne would look like in real life. But other than that, nah. With the inclusion of the bat nipples and all that other stuff, yeah, we get that out of here. All right, so since we're on Batman, let's go ahead and get to Batman Begins. Now, Batman Begins, I wasn't a huge fan of. I did like the inclusion of Scarecrow. Bruh, Alicia Silverstone was fine. I did like the inclusion of Scarecrow, but I wasn't a big fan of it. So I'll probably put it right there. It was probably my least favorite out of that trilogy. Hey, appreciate it, Sheldon. Welcome to the stream. But it probably was my least favorite out of the trilogy. But I will say it did give us the Dark Knight. I did not like Batman Begins. I'm not going to lie. Because I didn't really need to see his origin story to see him fighting and all this other BS. But the Dark Knight Rises. Now, you heard me say earlier, I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan. I probably was talking like how Tom Hardy was talking probably for a whole week after I watched that movie. Like, he sounded like a gangster Mr. Winnie the Pooh to me. Like, that's the one thing I did like about the movie. And then I like his whole, like, he broke the bat. Just like he broke the bat in the cartoon. Just like he broke the bat in the comics. Like, I like his whole persona. He was like Batman, but like more menacing, more evil, more everything. Like, he was Bane. He was my interpretation of what I thought Bane was. I know a lot of people didn't like The Dark Knight Rise. I did because it was like his comeback story. I don't know if I will put it above a lot of these other movies though, but I'll probably put Dark Knight Rise right here. Alright, and since we're on the topic of Batman, let's go ahead and put Catwoman over here too. Catwoman sucks. Like, it ain't no ifs and buts about it. It's only because I like Halle Berry. I'm gonna say it's better than Daredevil. That's only because I think Halle Berry is hot, but it's not better than it's not better than any of them other movies. Like, Halle Berry is the only reason why it's over the Daredevil. I hate the Daredevil movie. Like, nah. That did my girl Holly wrong. And now, we want to talk about the Batman. No spoilers. I'm not going to get into any spoilers on the movie. But The one thing I will say about the movie is, I think I was talking to a couple friends. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. It was parts of the movie. Sometimes I felt like it was a little bit long and it shouldn't have been as long. But it's very a Batman heavy movie, and it do have my interest of where they're going with the story. Is it the best Batman movie of all time? To me, no. I still put Dark Knight up there. Is it better than the original Batman? Ooh. Damn, that's kind of hard to say. I probably put it better than... I might change my mind. Maybe I have to watch it maybe one more time, but... that the Batman is better Batman film than the Dark Knight. No, I don't know, man. Oh boy, I don't know, because it's parts of the movie that I did really like. I don't know if it's if you saying it's better than Dark Knight, then you probably saying it's the best Batman movie of all time to me. Ugh. Yeah, it's better than... It is better than... Besides it being long, I do think it's better than all of these right here. Because the acting was phenomenal. The whole take on it. It is a Batman movie. If you ever played any of the Arkham series, it reminds you of the Arkham series. Is it the best Batman movie though? We'll save that. I'm gonna keep this up here. I'm putting it in the S tier though, because I'll go watch it again in the movie theaters, and that's all of these. All of these I pretty much own, and except this one, and I'll rewatch. Like I will watch them over and over and over. Is it better than Dark Knight though? A lot of y'all saying yeah. I think it's the best Batman movie of all time, and that's saying a lot. I think it's just too damn long, and I still don't think Pattinson is a good Bruce Wayne. That's my argument too. But like, if I argue with that, I don't think Christian Bale is a good Batman though. Because where are they? Where is she? Like, he didn't have to do all of that shit. I thought that shit was mad corny. But I didn't hate his Bruce Wayne though, because I feel like if we would have got like a lot more Bruce Wayne origin story, he would have been mopey. He would have been looking kind of like, he wouldn't have been suave. The best Bruce Wayne to me is either George Clooney or Ben Affleck. Like, Ben Affleck looked like how I think Bruce Wayne would look. But like, I don't think he was a bad Bruce Wayne per se. We didn't get a lot. I don't want to spoil the movie, but yeah, I don't think there was enough Bruce Wayne for us to be like, was he a great Bruce Wayne or not? Like, where is she? I hated that part. Is it the best Batman movie of all time, though? Like, that's the true question. I'm going to put it in the S tier for right now, because it was a good movie. We'll put it in the S tier, so we'll keep it there. All right. Where we want to go with this next? Lego Batman is actually a good movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'll put Lego Batman somewhere. I'll put Lego Batman somewhere right there. It wasn't a bad movie. I mean, it's funny. It's a good movie. I wouldn't put it above some of the other Batman movies, but I think it was a pretty solid movie. Like Rosario Dawson, that's probably one of my favorite celebrity crush. So I think she did Batgirl in there, and then was Chris Pratt? Wasn't Chris Pratt wasn't Batman? Who did Robin? Was it my man? Was Michael Cera Robin? I think. I forgot who did Batman though, but yeah, it's a funny movie. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I'll watch it again. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. Meteor Man. I don't know why Meteor Man is on this list. I have not seen Meteor Man in years, but Robert Townsend is an amazing writer to me. If you ever watched the 5 Heartbeats, you know who he is. Parenthood is hilarious. I wish Blank Man was on here. Some of y'all probably don't even know what Blank Man is. It's a parody superhero movie, but to me, one Halloween, I'm gonna dress up as Blank Man. I don't care what nobody say. Go Google it right now. Like I'm gonna find a clip of Blank Man while we talking, but Blank Man would be on the C list. I'm probably gonna put Meteor Man on the C list too. But like I'll put out of the Wayans brothers, Damon Wayans is probably my favorite Wayans brother. So Major Payne, all that good stuff. But Blank Man, J5. Like if Blank Man was on here, it would be in the C tier. But that's another topic for another day though. Hancock. Now anybody. If you know me, like you really, really know me, I think Will Smith is the corniest motherfucker on the planet. Excuse my language. I think Will Smith is so corny. So I'm biased about a lot of his movies, but to be fair, he do have some really, really good movies. Independence Day, the first Men in Black. What's another good movie? Bad Boys 1 and 2. He has some great movies, but like I don't like Will Smith, bro. I really don't. I can't stand Will Smith, and just to see his relationship and marriages implode like it is, I don't really speak on nobody's marriage or no relationship or whatever they got going on, but it's funny though. But like Will Smith is like, Will Smith is corny to me, bro. Like his, oh man, his whole laugh and everything. I'm not a Will Smith fan, bro. Like, did I watch Fresh Prince as a kid? Yeah, I did. Do I still enjoy it? Yeah. The new series not that bad either, though. But yeah, like Will Smith, I'm not a Will Smith fan. I've never been a Will Smith fan, bro. Like what Eminem say? Will Smith don't have to cuss his rap. Well, I do. Well, but I do like what he do for the people. I do like that he's authentic to himself. I'm just not a Will Smith fan. But Hancock, I'm gonna be biased. I mean, Hancock wasn't a bad movie, but I didn't really look at it as a superhero movie, even though it was. We're gonna talk about that. I'm not looking for I Am Legend 2. I'm not gonna lie, like I just said I like Michael B. Jordan, but some of his roles lately, like the whole Splinter Cell movie, and I know he did like the Love Story movie, I wasn't a huge fan of. So like, I Am Legend is actually a good movie. I'm not gonna say I hate that movie. I Am Legend pretty good too, but I'm not a Will Smith fan, man. Like I've never been a Will Smith fan. If it ain't Bad Boys, is if you watch his interviews, all his interviews are the same. He always talk about the one moment when Uncle Phil grabbed him and tried to tell him how to be a better actor. He always talk about that story. He always talk about the Willow Smith story, how Jay-Z had put her on a tour and she didn't want to do it anymore. And he had to realize how to be a father. Now, him as a father, I respect him. And, I can't really tell nobody how to raise their kids. So, like, for him doing that, I respect him for that. But, like, Will Smith as, like, a actor and all this, nah, I'm good, bro. It ain't too many Will Smith flicks that you're gonna get me to watch. I'm tired of it. He tells that story all the damn time, and I just like, bro, I get it. I hear it. He tells that story. He tells the same. It's like a lot of his stuff is scripted because he knows what he about to say in the interview. But I mean, if we look at it, his last couple of movies wasn't that great. And speaking of Will Smith, since we on that topic, let's go to Suicide Squad. Where is it at? What my mouse doing? All right, let's go to Suicide Squad. And here we go. The first Suicide Squad, it was okay, but I didn't really care too much for it. So we're gonna put it in a D. I'll probably watch it. Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, we'll put it right there. Now, the second Suicide Squad was slightly better. He got I mean, again, I don't want to bash the man. That is pretty remarkable because, I mean, my SAT score wasn't perfect. I mean, it wasn't Will Smith perfect, but, like, I mean, him as a person, if you like Will Smith as a person, then cool. You like it, I love it. Me, in particular, I'm not a big Will Smith fan. Like, the brother, whatever. But I ain't gonna never knock another man. I'm not a Will Smith fan. So now, Suicide Squad 2 is better than the second one, but it goes right there. I enjoyed the first Suicide Squad more than the first one, only because of the soundtrack. To be honest with you, if I had this on here, Peacemaker will be on here, and Peacemaker will probably be in a B. Peacemaker, if you haven't watched it on HBO Max, better than Suicide Squad, better than everything else. It's not because I was a John Cena fan growing up. That shit is hilarious. Go watch Peacemaker. It is funny from the first episode to the last episode. It's some really good cameos in there. It's funny. It's real funny. But yeah, Peacemaker is good. Better than both of these movies combined. I will rewatch the whole Peacemaker. I'll watch Hancock before I watch any of these though. And let's get into Logan. Boy, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up watching this movie, and it's because Hugh Jackman was my Wolverine. This movie was sad. This movie was sad, but it was good. Like, damn, this movie was good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree. Logan going to F tier, and it's probably going. It's going somewhere right here. We might have to rearrange that, but Logan to me was a good movie. It was everything, man. It was like the perfect ending to Hugh Jackman's story. Like, I still like the last part of Logan though, man. Like, it's a good movie. Logan is a good movie. Like, everything about Logan, it seemed like oh, the weird Goonie kids. What app are you making these tier lists on? I had to Google it. I think it's like tiermaker.com. I'll send it to you. But yeah, Logan, I still put Logan in the S tier. Do I put it over Captain America? I don't know, because I'll probably put it right here. Logan was great. Now, Avengers Endgame though, boy, again another solid movie. Yeah, Avengers Endgame going to S tier. The death of Tony Stark, everybody come back. I heard so many people scream in the movie. The movie, Watchmen on here too. I'm gonna put it on. I'll do Watchmen next. I'm gonna say I think Infinity War is better than Endgame though. Yeah, I agree. I think Infinity War is better than Endgame, but Endgame had everything that you needed in the movie though, like a phenomenal wrap up to a series. So since Barry asked where the Watchmen at, alright. Did I like the Watchmen? Watchmen was okay. Do I have a graphic novel somewhere? I don't think I have a graphic novel somewhere. I heard it's probably one of the most close to a comic book movie of all time, so I can't take that away from our source. Interesting movie, interesting take. Kind of bring like real life superheroes to like what would happen like in the real world forefront, but I don't put it anywhere past C tier in my opinion. That's me. But I heard it's probably one of the movies closest to the source material. So I like the ending of the movie, but I didn't really like most of the movie or whatever. So I'll probably put Watchmen in the C tier. Let's do Thor series. I'll start off with my least favorite Thor movie. Let's do Thor 2. I thought Thor 2 was not that great. I'll probably put Thor 2 maybe. I'll put Thor 2 in probably a D. I didn't really like the villains. I did like how they had the Infinity Stone in there with the liquid, but I didn't like Thor 2. But Thor 1 was pretty good. I put Thor 1 probably above most of these movies. I actually put Thor 1 I put Thor 1 right here. But now, Ragnarok is probably my favorite Thor movie. Ragnarok is hilarious. Ragnarok is probably going up here. Ragnarok probably right here. I put Ragnarok A. Ragnarok is really good. To me, it's the best Thor movie out of all of them. We'll go ahead and do a couple more. Like I said, we're not messing around doing Thunder Forces and all these other ones. We got a couple more left. We'll do the ones I actually watch. Never watched Elektra. Never watched I watched one of the Punishers, and I can't remember which one, so we're not going to go over that. I watched one of the Ghost Riders. Again, I can't remember which one, but if I had to rank all of them, they all probably go in F tier, but I'm going to be fair. We're going to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Let's do... Volume 2 was good, but to me it kind of felt like the first one. But it just wasn't as good as the first one. Where did I put the first one at? The first one is in A tier, so yeah. I probably put this one somewhere. This one probably be somewhere over here. Probably over here. Definitely better than Age of Ultron. So Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't bad, but Volume 2 wasn't bad, but it just wasn't as good as the first one. Birds of Prey. It was okay. It was better than I thought. I wasn't really expecting much from it, so it was kind of funny at parts. It wasn't that bad. It was better than I thought. I probably will watch it more than most of these movies. But Spider-Man 3 with the memes, though, I think it's better. It's not better than Spider-Man 3 with the memes. This might piss a lot of people off, but I hate this movie. I hated Wonder Woman 84. I'm not gonna lie, that movie sucked. Like, that movie was bad to me. It was... They did Gal Gadot so wrong because the first one was so decent. Like, the first one, I probably put the first one somewhere over... The first one is maybe C, maybe B, maybe. But, yeah, 84 was bad, bro. 84 was really bad. Now, was 84 as bad as Power Rangers? It wasn't as bad as these movies, but... Oh, boy. Damn. I don't know, bro. I'd probably watch Power Rangers again before I watch 84. 84 was garbage. Like, my wife said she'll never watch that movie ever again. Like, 84 was just tragic to watch. I will watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl over Wonder Woman 84. I don't even know why that's even on this list, but I'll watch that over that. Another pretty shitty movie. Yeah, this going to F2. This is... Apocalypse is one of my favorite... Yeah, I'm glad it was free too. Apocalypse is one of my favorite X-Men villains of all time. And y'all screwed that up. Everything about X-Men Apocalypse sucked. He looked like Ivan Ooze compared to how Apocalypse looked in the comic book. So that's definitely going to the F tier. I wasn't happy about that. I never watched Dark Phoenix, but we're going to put you in the F tier too, because I knew it was going to be bad, and I heard it was bad. So we'll put you down there just for shits and giggles. So, Shang-Chi, that wasn't a bad movie. I have to rewatch it. I wasn't like blown away by the movie. Now, again, the fight scenes in the movie was great. The music wasn't that bad. So I would probably put it somewhere. I'll put it somewhere. See, it's not a bad movie. I'll watch it again. It's definitely better than a lot of these movies over here. Deadpool 2. Now, I might be biased about this too. I'm going to put Deadpool 2... Where did I put the first one at? I did like Deadpool 2. It had Juggernaut in it too. Yeah, I put Deadpool 2 over the first one. Because I like more of the cameos and Cable and he was breaking a fourth wall with calling him Thanos and all of that. Yeah, I like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, so yeah, I put Deadpool 2 up there. And Wasp. It was okay. It was better than most of these movies, though. So we'll sit that right there. It wasn't bad. I did like how old girl was like invisible the whole time and was a ghost. I like my man Luis who tells the stories all the time. I think he makes the movie hilarious. And again, Paul Rudd is one of my favorite actors, so I put him in the C list. This movie was garbage too. Would I watch it? Oh yeah. Nah, this one where they did Galactus as a storm. I hated this movie. Yeah, that goes right there. Incredibles. We'll go with Incredibles. Incredibles was good. It was better than Aquaman. Yeah, we gotta move Aquaman down, bro. Let's be honest. Aquaman was okay, but it wasn't better than some of these movies. Incredibles better than Kick-Ass. Yeah, better than that. We'll keep Incredibles right there. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel wasn't bad. Captain Marvel probably sits somewhere around here. I did like the whole Samuel Jackson backstory. Now, I did like my girl who played Captain Marvel because I used to, again, she was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It was this other show that me and my wife used to watch was called like The Divided States of Terror or whatever. I think she played like one of the daughters on there. I think she had multiple kids. I know she had multiple kids. I know she played the daughter on there. So we was following her for a while. I don't think she's a bad Captain Marvel, but I don't know. I have to see her in more roles. I think I hated how they made it seem like Captain Marvel was going to be all Brie Larson. I don't know why I can't think of her name right now, but Brie Larson. Like, yeah, so I follow her most of her career and saw her kind of move up in different acting roles. But I like the plot of it. And it was set in the 90s. You know, that's probably one of my favorite eras. Hellboy 1, somewhere around here. I don't remember the rest of the Hellboy, and I didn't see the new one. I didn't hear any good things about it. Even though this is not a superhero movie, we'll go ahead and talk about the Joker. The Joker is... I don't want to rank this, actually, because I don't think it's a superhero movie. It's a good movie, but I don't want to rank this over the other movies. But it's a great movie. If I had to put it in place, I guess I'll put it somewhere. I put it somewhere. I put it in B. It was a pretty decent movie. Let's see. We only got a couple more because I never saw Incredible 2, surprisingly. I ain't seen anything on this roll. Didn't see that. I saw Teen Titan Go, but I'm not going to rank that. I'm not ranking the first Ninja Turtle. I don't rank this. Wolverine Origins sucks. That movie's really bad. Didn't watch Elektra. I watched the first reboot Ninja Turtles. Unbreakable. I don't want to put that in this list, but I mean, if I had to, Unbreakable somewhere over here maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch the sequel Glass or whatever, but out of the Hulk movie, the first Hulk maybe somewhere over here. The second one slightly better. So we'll probably put the Hulk movie right there. I did like the actor that played him. I was mad when they replaced him with Mark, but Mark Ruffalo did a good job, so I wasn't too mad. And Incredible Hulk is an okay movie. I didn't think it was bad, but if you ask me when the last time I watched it, I ain't watched it in a while. Didn't see Eternals yet. Haven't heard good things about that. I think, and didn't see The Punisher. I think this is where we're going to end our list. So this is where we got right now. This is the ones that matter. So let's rearrange the S tier, and then we're going to end it off on that S tier. And I'm going to ask y'all in the comment section too. Again, this is my list, but I'm going to ask y'all in the comment section. Do y'all really think, for everybody who saw the movie, do you think the Batman is better than the Dark Knight? Oh boy. if we talking my favorite superhero movie of all time, man, that's hard. I think it's called Ultimate Superhero Movie Tier List. Alright. So this is my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. That's without a question. If we gonna have to move Dark Knight down, I'm gonna move this right here. Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna leave it right here until I see the movie. I have to see the movie again. If I see the movie again, I have my final verdict on it. I have to see the movie again because it is a good movie, though. I'm not gonna lie. Spider-Man 2 to me, is it better than Civil War? No, because Civil War just got a lot of cool pieces to it. No Way Home is fine right here. I probably put Logan right there. So my S tier would be something like this. I don't know if I want to say this is better than this though. That's hard, man. That's hard. Yeah, I have to see the new movie one more time. I wouldn't be opposed to watching it one more time because if we're talking about no spoilers, we're talking about anybody who has not seen the Batman movie. The Batman movie, again, if you play the Arkham series, if you watch the cartoon, it is very Batman heavy and Batman focused. It's so good. But I remember seeing The Dark Knight and IMAX, and that movie, man, I don't know. If I see the Batman movie one more time, I give you my final verdict, but I'm putting The Dark Knight over it just by a smidge. Again, this is my tier list. We're gonna see it again, which, if y'all go see it again for real, let me know. I only like The Dark Knight because so a lot of people argue that though, but like, again, the plot of that movie is so good, and like, so Sheldon, you didn't like Two-Face either, or you didn't like any of the other characters. Now, granted, I like Commissioner Gordon in Dark Knight, but Commissioner Gordon and the Batman though, I love the dude who played his role. I know he played in Shaft and Hunger Games and a couple other movies. Joker carried that movie. You take Joker out that movie, it's basic in my opinion. Ooh. Man. Alright. So the funny thing is, because even going back in my head, if you ask me who the better Batman is, Robert Pattinson to me is the better Batman. To me, he's probably the best Batman we've seen in any live action interpretation. But my favorite Batman is my favorite Batman is Kevin Conroy, who plays him in the animated series, but that's nor here or there. But like, oh man, I'm gonna watch the movie one more time. Oh yeah, Pattinson is way better than Bale. Like, I would say that Bale messed it up when he did the voice thing, and a lot of people was giving Pattinson hell because he was in what's the movie called where they like the shining vampires? I remember I was working in the movie theaters and I hated cleaning them theaters. Twilight. He was in Twilight. I know he was in Harry Potter as Cedric. Like, was he Cedric? Yeah, he was. So like, if I see it one more time, I give y'all my final verdict. As of right now, maybe because I like Heath Ledger Joker that much. All right, this is where we're gonna stay with S tier. Infinity War is probably one of my favorite superhero movies. I don't know if it's my best. Like, whatever mood I'm in, yeah. Captain America: Winter Soldier, loved it. Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, loved it. Civil War, loved it. These two could be interchangeable. I have to see this. Whenever y'all want to see it one more time, I'm down to see it. What happened in Twilight theaters? Yo, so I hated cleaning them, one, because they're always dirty. I hated the ending song to Twilight because they'd be like, what's the song? Be like, yeah, they call you baby. I heard that song. The one thing about working in movie theaters so much and retail period, you hear the same songs every day. And I hated that song. Whatever the song called, Take Me Away. I hated that song. And like our Twilight movies was always booked. I think the one movie I hated cleaning was Twilight was pretty bad. When the last Harry Potter came out, we was always booked for that. Any of the kids' movies is the worst movies to clean because we used to have these things, and I still think they have them called Kids Pack, and they get like all these candies and popcorn and all this other BS, and they always was like the worst to clean because you had to like really clean it for the next show, and then sometimes a kid's show they'll be closing around the same time, so you'll have to clean that show, and then you have to clean that one. But I hated the Twilight soundtrack. I should know that Take Me Away song by heart. I hated it, and it's like, I hated cleaning Twilight shows. Like, anyway, but yeah, no, I think he did a great job as Batman. I'm looking forward to the series. If you haven't watched the movie, I strongly recommend watching it at least once. I think it is appreciate that, man. I think it's a great movie. I'm actually going to save this list too. Like I said, I'm going to actually put this up on my YouTube page, and I'm going to throw some like funny clips and all this other stuff in there. I probably got some editing to do or whatever, but this is a good tier list. Like I said, S is solid. I would probably keep everything in the A list where, A list is pretty solid, except I'll probably move these over. And yeah, I'll probably keep that like it is. I'll probably move this over and this over. Probably put that right there. And I probably will move this over. I'll probably move this over this, actually. I don't really want to count that, but C can be interchangeable. D doesn't matter. F, they all suck. I think the worst is probably Daredevil. And like I said, it would be Catwoman, but the Catwoman is saved by Halle Berry. And I really hated this movie, actually. So this movie can go down one. But yeah, this is my list. I'm going to save it, and we're going to go from there. And like I said, so I think y'all enjoy this. I enjoy this. I'm going to do more stuff like this going forward. I have to log in, I guess, whatever. I create a login. I'm going to do more stuff like this going forward. I enjoyed this list. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it, too. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I never saw Birdman. I didn't even know Birdman had a movie, man. But I never saw Birdman. Oh, Kick-Ass 2, I saw that too. Kick-Ass 2, I didn't really think was good, so I'll probably throw it somewhere over here. It was somewhere over there, probably. I watched the original Superman, but like, I haven't seen it in so long. Boy. Ninja Turtles is better than all of these movies. It's still not that good, though. And I didn't see the New Mutants, but I did see it was on HBO Max. Didn't hear good things about it. I might check it out. Haven't seen Punisher in so long. Like I said, I watched one of them, but I can't remember which one. Never watched Elektra because I hated that Daredevil, so I know that was going to be just as bad. I heard this is a classic movie. Maybe one day, I think it's on HBO Max. Maybe one day I'll watch it, and then I'll tell y'all where I put it on my tier list. But yeah, my S is solidified. My S is not moving. The only thing that might move, I do want to watch this one more time. I'll watch that one more time. I'll tell you where I place it. Is it better than any of the other movies that I got ahead of it, though? No. Is it better than any of the movies behind it? Logan was good. I don't know. Batman was really good, though. But yeah, so I think this is where we're going to end we're not gonna end the stream, but we're gonna end the tier list. And I think we're supposed to be playing Phasmophobia tonight, if I'm not mistaken. All my teammates gotta do is say green light on that. Until I hear green light on that, I'm ready to play on over there. Alright, cool. But before I hop to that, I'm gonna see if I can find a clip from Blank Man. It's a stupid movie, man. Don't ask me why I like this movie, bro. It's hilarious.